Perfect. So yeah, thank you for the introduction, Nebo. So as well as being as a real estate agent, I've been an SEO. I'm now a senior SEO consultant for various agencies and business owners for almost 14 years. So this is very much my passion, something that I've helped a lot of business owners with. And in the last few years, agencies to help their clients with. So I work with realtors because I know this, what it's like, how to get the ground running, get you guys business. And as a consultant, it's really nice because I get to help people with problems that are hard to solve or help them with advice when they've been burned, et cetera, all the things that you hear about. And one of the things about me is I'm pretty direct. I have no fuss, no filler. So I am very excited to answer all your questions at the end and make sure that you have a really good understanding of what's going on so that you're up to date on everything that you need to do to really keep the business running from now on in real estate and anything else in between. So excited to chat with you guys soon. Go ahead, Nebo. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, floor is yours. Start with presentation. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. First things first, can everyone see my screen?
Guys, you can chat in group.
Perfect.
Chat is open, so make sure that you reply, okay?
Yep, I see it. Thanks so much, guys. And
Yes,
if at
okay.
any point the sound or anything gets fuzzy, please state so in the chat just so we make sure you guys have the best experience possible. All right, so let's dig in. SEO and GEO, I promise I'm going to explain what this means here shortly. Advice from a senior SEO consultant. So I'm the nerd for today. Take advantage. All right, so some of the things that we're going to cover today, so you know exactly what we're going to be talking about. I definitely say take some notes and we'll go from there. So learn a little bit about me. We're going to do an overview of what SEO and GEO means and other terms that you really should know. And so this is going to make sure that at the primary level, you know at least what these are mean and what we're talking about. We're going to go over some common myths. I hear some really funky stuff nowadays going on with AI and SEO. We're going to talk about your website and what to do, your social media, and what the changes are and what you should be doing to make sure you get clients. We're going to go over some local SEO, citations and brand mentions. Again, I'll explain what this means if this sounds new, but this is a very important goal that we have, and how to contact me after this talk, and I'm happy to answer questions always. All right, so as Nebo and I have mentioned already, you know, I started as a website developer and a realtor, always got into SEO after about a year in development, dug real deep into this, and I switched from being a developer to an SEO full-time in 2012. And I was also a real estate agent, heavily working on my site and everything at the time as well. I basically have my business and I turned my first business around from 0 clients to pretty much being a revenue generating machine. And that business I had for a good solid 17 years. And now I'm my second business. I provide agencies across the nation with senior SEO support and consulting services. So I'm not just someone that kind of dabbles in this or sort of knows about the topic. I'm very much in it and very deeply involved in it. And I'm pretty much the person that people turn to when they've been burned by SEOs, agencies, et cetera. I help a lot of people get out of some interesting situations and get good results. So that's just a little tidbit about me. Now, terms to know. And I promise you, it's only a few. I'm trying to keep it really simple because if you get these concepts, you'll get everything else in the future from now on. So when I say SEO, this means search engine optimization, which is still a thing. So search engine optimization is basically where you have a professional such as myself that has a very specific skill set. We know how to basically turn your website and make it, instead of something that looks pretty and that you use, into a machine for ranking online. So your website can appear in the search results on the first page of Google, for example, or Bing or Yahoo, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, on these search engines. So Bing is a search engine, Google's a search engine, hence search engine optimization. So this for eons now, it feels like, has been the way to market websites. But very recently, starting about 2 years ago, AI entered the game, machine learning. And so this is where we go to the next term, which is very important to understand. And it's the umbrella term, the holder of everything. All of it has children underneath it. It's called generative engine optimization. So here we're focusing on creating content that'll be cited. And when I say cited, the search engine, the AI search engine, such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc., they're going to go ahead and take snippets of your website or specific parts, lists, etc., an answer from your website, and they're going to show that when users are using those type of AI search engines. So you have two things going on today in 2025, and it's going to continue to evolve. You have search engine optimization, which is traditional way of getting your website in front of people and getting business. And now you have an additional item that we do as SEOs, which is generative engine optimization. So not only are we doing SEO, but we're going to do extra things to make sure you also appear on the AI search engines. So whew, think of them as two orbs, but they're all working together to get our clients' business, basically. Then that means, well, so we know AI search engines. Okay, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI, Mode, etc. Well, then what is AI, or how does that fit in? Or where does that fit in within these two clusters? So I just wanted to make sure I included that. Artificial intelligence optimization. And sometimes I even hear also called AEO or AIO. It depends. They're a little different, but the same. But it's basically about your brand. So your brand visibility, the relevance that it has online to people's questions. So when I'm thinking AIO or AEO, I'm thinking of answer engine optimization on these artificial AI sites. So it's a lot about the question answer type of component, very specific part of GEO. So that's one of the children. And then language learning model. This you may or not ever hear in real estate ever, probably. It's more in my world, but just know that when someone says LLM, you're going to hear a lot of like real estate workshops, a lot of real estate talks, and they might reference LLMs a lot. And so I just wanted to make sure you knew it, which is the language learning model. And in the simplest terms, it's just a type of advanced AI that really helps to put meaning and context behind the words so that it gives you like that human language output. So it's just a way to kind of humanize all the searches that we do, all the queries, etc. LLM in layman's terms. We good there? Everyone can hear me well, okay? Making sure I'm looking at the chat.
Yes, Jennifer, everything is good. We hear you, okay?
Cool. All right, so I thought I'd put some examples for you to see the difference of SEO, AIO, AEO, like I just explained, and then the GEO. These two things in one child. So SEO is the traditional way. This is something you're probably very familiar with as a realtor particular. This top part used to be your Google business profile listing, you know, the little map, your listing there, you'd have your information, people can call you. This is still very important, by the way. But this is a traditional, again, search engine type of result page where like the first 10 websites would appear below that. So you would have, you know, an example of a website, you'd have another website, etc. When you put in a certain query in the search bar. This is something that I think everyone's pretty used to seeing at some point or another. Then we go, I'm going to skip over, I'll do this middle one here momentarily. We have GEO, the generative engine optimization. This is the one that captures all the AI bubble, like that portion that I just talked about. In this one, it's all of this, but it's this specific part on the right. So this is one screenshot. There's two sides. I'm going to look at this column, which is GEO. So on the right, you can see that the AI engine has basically taken a nice little overview, a piece of content from a website that they found to be really authoritative on the subject. For example, here I had the query, who's the best realtor in Orlando? So this generative EO result is going to show you here a nice citation. It's linking back to a website that is doing a really good job about answering that. They show two others. So these are 3 citations they've done. And these are the ones that people could click into and then go to that website. In the second part of the same screenshot on the left is the AIO or the AEO result, which is that whole question answer type of bit. You can see here that if someone typed in, who is the best realtor in Orlando? Then what they get is the answer. So the AI is going to basically, they took bits and pieces of what they saw all over online as the top results. They extracted some of it and they gave you the answer. You don't have to click into a website anymore. You don't have to go at all and visit anyone's website, really. People are typing in questions and the AI is just giving them the answer. So it's called like a 0-click search, which kind of freaks some business owners out, but we're going to talk about it. Don't worry. And then below that, they have, again, some brand mentions. So if you're in this part of the same left side of the same screenshot, here they're referencing the Nikki group with Keller Williams as an example. So they actually mention this brand, this company by name, this local realtor group. It links to them, and then look at that. It gives bullet points. It extracted information to give people the answer to what they were searching for and this brand mention. I keep saying brand mention for a reason because this is very important. So we're going from this on the left, which was maps and links, to now this on entire piece on the second half on the right, which is answers, brand mentions, and if people want, they could link to a website, they can click on it, but you're only shown 3. It's not 10. And it's who the AI deems as the most authoritative. So this is something that I would totally screenshot, keep, or just burn into your mind, because this is what your business is going to be looking like or not appearing for at all if you don't take a lot of what we're chatting about today pretty seriously. So that is just the visual of everything we're talking about. So let's dig in a little more. Okay. I have heard some really interesting kind of let's just say declarations out there about what's going on with social media and what's going on with SEO and well, what if my website goes away? Is it still here? How's it relevant? So I'm going to just put in 4 really common things I hear all the time. I do a lot of seminars. I do a lot of different trainings on this. I work with a lot of different clients and industries. And hopefully this will answer some of the questions some of you may have or fears you may be experiencing. Number 1, on a social media side, I heard from an SEO director of a real estate luxury agency in the state, a client of mine and their clients. That director had somehow said that hashtags are dead. And I said, oh, that's so interesting. They are not. I think that sometimes what you're going to read online is going to be very sensationalized, and there's a lot of opinion, but there's fact and data on some components. One of those components is public available knowledge from the source. So in the case of Instagram, for example, hashtags are not dead. It's so not true. How you use them has completely changed. And frankly, many SEOs have used them strategically. So here's what you're doing. If you are using hashtags in Instagram, for example, it's no longer just put all the hashtags galore, copy paste them, a big list of 50. No, no, no. Use 2 or 3 that are really specific to exactly what it is that you're talking about, very relevant to what you're talking about. And if you're a local business, right? Realtors, put in that localized search term in that hashtag that you want to appear for. That's part of your overall marketing strategy. You don't need 50. They don't need to be super generic and watered down. They should always be very strategic and thoughtful when used. Myth number 2. I heard this a lot in the beginning of this year and the end of last year. SEO doesn't work anymore. Now with AI, we don't need it. What's the point of doing traditional SEO? Blah, 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 blah. So for those of you that are not super familiar, maybe you've heard the term SEO, but you're not living in the world like I am. The search engine optimization, which is manipulating the site with really helpful content, really juicy, helpful media, video, pictures, tables, graphs, etc. All of that, those things that we've traditionally done is still like the foundation. You cannot have really great results in AI search engines if your SEO is bad on the foundational standpoint. So you still must have SEO. It's like still that bubble. And then you have the AI bubble. So what you want to do is always make sure the SEO on your site is pristine, clean, now more than ever, because it is expected now to have that. So if you have a website that looks pretty and you're not marketing it, I would definitely hurry. And then you can add on the AI component as you're optimizing now. So it still works. It's highly needed. You cannot ignore it any longer. Number 3, it's going to go away. Maybe SEO will go away, or maybe this whole AEO is going to go away, or the GEO is going to go away, blah, blah, blah. As far as the SEO and GEO component, there is nothing so far that says it's going away. In fact, it's actually more on the opposite. It's all saying you need to have these things. It's only going to further kind of change and morph even more, so become more specific over time. So not the case. SEO is very needed and affects GEO on all levels. And then I hear this from a lot of realtors and clients. I'm too late. Jennifer, I have a website, or I have, this platform I use and I've never done SEO. I don't have any GEO. I don't know what this is. I never had the budget before. I don't know what to do. Is it too late? Blah, blah, blah. It's never too late. It is never, never too late to make sure you have these foundational elements in your business. And it's one of those things where it's better to start than never start at all. If you don't start, you simply will be obsolete. Your website is not going to show up anywhere. And at that point, you're just putting money into hosting and domain and all these things down the drain for something that just looks pretty. You want to definitely treat your business like a business and market it appropriately. It's never too late to start. So don't think that that's such a myth as well. Okay. So now I'm going to break into what do you do for different things that you own in your business, right? You have your website, you have your social media, for example, you have all these different things and components. So let's begin with just your website, what most of us would have here on this call. The big 3 right now is 1, high quality content. This has always been known, but I see a lot of interesting interpretations of what high quality content means since AI kind of started being used more with ChatGPT and all that. So you still must have the human touch. You don't just put ChatGPT, write me 100 articles about real estate and just publish them on your site. No, 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 no. That will be flagged. So everyone heed the warning. You can use AI tools to help you create content, but you must add in that human, personalized, innate knowledge as a realtor you have of your area, your expertise, your experiences, case studies to that piece. It is very simple for scrapers. Like Google has a scraper that it'll just tell it how much AI it is on the page that you produced, that you published, versus what it's likely to be human. These tools already have been existing. So it'll know that if it's just you're just publishing everything 100% AI, it's not going to pay a lot of attention. So again, you'll be wasting your time and your money. You need to have the human touch. So that is number one. Ideas of how to add the human touch. Original research is the number one way. If you conduct a survey, if you conduct a study, if you put in, I don't know, data that you compiled in some way or fashion and you share that online on a topic, that is the number one way to get your piece of content to the top. This is big. I cannot stress this one nugget enough. Second way to add the human touch, case studies. Talk about your buyer, talk about your seller, link to them or have them mention you. Put that in the piece that you're writing. That is very good. Let's say you don't have case studies. Let's say you don't have original research. What can I do? Well, make sure that what you are writing in conjunction with AI or by yourself is very clear. It should be apparent. What is this about? What are you helping me with? What answers to my deepest questions, fears, anything I may have as the reader, is it giving me? Is it structured easy? For many years, I've seen so many business owners, realtors, brokers, I've seen so much where they just have a wall of text, maybe one picture and one button. This is old. So you want to have little small snippets of text. The AI and SEO components love it. Put in clear headings, put in bullet points, lists, pictures throughout, call to action buttons throughout. Don't just give these big chunks of text anymore. They don't perform as well at all anymore. So just might as well break it up, make it easier to read, especially on mobile. Then make sure it provides value. If you're just putting, hey, Perplexity, write me this piece about real estate, market trends in 2025. Everyone's doing that. So what do you add of value? What can you bring to that piece to add the human touch? What insider experience do you have on that topic that you can add in there to make it feel so much more real to your readers and your audience? Provide value. Don't just write for writing's sake. You need to deliver a benefit, of value to that reader. And then quality over quantity. There used to be, and some of you here probably have done it, where you're like, oh, I'm going to write 8 blogs a month, and that's forever and ever, for every year, that's going to be the cadence, and that's what's going to get us to the top. That used to be the case. Now it's very much quality.
Jennifer, we lost you for a moment.
Rather
Jennifer, your internet is
and
maybe not stable. I don't know. Oh, we lost you
can you
for a
hear me now?
moment. Yeah, now
Okay,
it's
well,
better.
what's the last thing you heard?
Well, the last 30 seconds was,
Okay, last 30 seconds. So quality over quantity. I would rather now, no more, oh, I'm going to do 8 blogs a month, 12 blogs a month, 20 a month. I'd rather 1, 2 that are written very well. Users want to share it. People are talking about it. People reference what your blog that you wrote because it's so clear and easy to understand. Then a bunch of them. So that is point 1, quality content with the human touch. The next thing, that's search engine optimization and all of the GEO, the generative engines love media. You guys are realtors. You're often showing homes, selling homes. You're in homes. You're in properties. You're in areas, cities, locations, towns, communities. You're talking to other people in the community. Film it. Use your phone. Make it easy. It doesn't have to be this crazy flashy thing. You have a pretty good mechanism with your mobile phone. Most people do nowadays. So go ahead and take video, short. These don't have to be long. 30 seconds, minute and a half, 2 minutes max usually is okay. Whatever it is, if you're showing the home, selling the home in the community, talking to a neighbor, talking to a business, video that, upload this to YouTube, have the waivers, of course, that you're allowed to do so, and make sure it has a really good optimized title. There's keyword research. There's a lot of nerds like me that can do all that research part, but put it up there. Now what we're seeing, it's still not official, but we're already seeing it in my industry. I'll see someone come up in ChatGPT, for example. Someone's doing a search for a realtor in the area. And instead of, let's say, a mention or an article, maybe your content's not that strong, but I'll see their video pop up. And people love a video, a short video over sometimes reading a bunch of things. That is an easy, free way to be able to appear. Anyone can do this. Take video, upload it to your YouTube, optimize that. Easy. You can put the same video in your social media. You can put the same video on your website. You can put the same video in your newsletter. It gives you so much content to play with on different platforms. The next one, charts. Your real estate agents, there are always lovely bits of data about how the market's doing, how a specific community is doing, how home sales, home property values, everything, insurance. Make a chart. Nothing complex. Maybe a couple metrics, couple dimensions, 2x3. Does not have to be big. Charts are fabulous. You will see those also outperform and appear at the top in SEO, especially GEO search. AI engines love it. Really do, because they learn from it. So that's why they have a bias. Images are still good. Images are always the kind of like the foundation level. So if all else, have images, at least a few. Engage people. Before it used to be about getting visitors to your website. Now it's how engaged are they on the website. This is a big shift. Reports are changing. Everything's changing. It's not how many, it's how they behave on your website. That is the new normal. How-to guides. Maybe you're a good writer. Maybe you have that type of talent and ability. And again, if not, you can have AI assist you. Write a how-to guide, a how-to to, I don't know, Orlando, Florida, how-to San Antonio, Texas, a how-to blah, blah, blah. What restaurants are nearby in a community that your buyers are, have just moved into? Give them how-to guides, anything that's helpful for your audience in specific that you think they would like. And last but not least, in kind of like the tips part of this media, schema markup. If you have no idea what this is, no worries. It's a type of code. And I know many of you are not coders, and that's okay. You can have AI, ChatGPT, help you pretty much write it all. And then you just kind of need someone that knows a little more to make sure it's actually right. But it's a bit of code that you put on each page. It's unique to each page. So let's say you have a home page, you're going to put schema markup on that home page. You have a service page about selling in San Antonio, you'll have schema markup that goes with that page. This is a basic now. I had to include it here in this slide. If you do not have this at all, you're not going to appear and get those snippets and things that are being shown when people search online, whether traditional via features snippets or in GEO search. So the schema markup helps you come up with little bits of information that they pull from your site. It basically helps the robots understand the context of what you do more. So for example, let's say you sell, I don't know, let's say you sell a car. I know no one here does, but as an example, you can actually have with the schema code, it could mark up and show in the search result or the answer what type of car, what year, the price, ratings that you have for selling that, etc. And it's the same thing as for a realtor. You could be selling a home and you'll have schema markup on your homes for sale page on your website. It'll show the name, the title you give the home, the address, the price, etc. if you add very specific code to your page. The third column, distribution. So with your website, again, it's not just about writing for writing's sake, just having a bunch of words. It's about making it engaging. This is the number one thing that if none else you come out of this talk today, engagement, engagement, people interacting with your platform, with your website, whatever it may be. So I put here distribution. You want to distribute your high quality content everywhere your audience goes. And I mean everywhere. If they're on YouTube, if they're on Vimeo, if they're on Wikipedia, if they're on Reddit, if they're you've done all this work to write all this amazing stuff for your website. You have all this media, you have all this stuff. You need to get it out and shown in other places. So people that are on these other sites go, "Oh, who are they?" They click and they go to your website and they learn more. Whether it's shown in the GEO, like a ChatGPT, they might show a snippet of a piece and then the user can click and go to your website. Or maybe it gives them the answer and they're curious and they see your brand and they'll remember that brand. You have to make sure you're being mentioned and cited. And the only way to do that is to share this on other sites. Those other sites are the ones to see your brand. Very, very big component of what's going on now versus before. You would just write whatever on the website, make sure it's good, and you'd probably rank. So it's different now. Any questions so far? All good?
And let's keep questions in the end, please. Okay.
Okay.
That's just how we used to hear. Okay. Thank you.
No worries. All right. Social media. What do you do? There's so many different channels. It's overwhelming sometimes how much is going on. We have YouTube, Instagram, Reddit, Facebook, you have your business page, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now what's changed completely in 2025 is now it's indexable. And when I say indexable, that means that search engines and the AI engines, they're all able to actually read it and show it in search results or show it as an answer to people's questions. In the past, we did not have that. Facebook was very limited. Only the business page would be shown, not the regular account. You had to be logged in and that was the only way, etc. Instagram was never indexable. Now it is. So your goal in a nutshell now is to create the posts, make sure that they are helpful, make sure it's clear on what you want people to do always. And now they're being scraped, they're being shown as answers and etc. You want them to be share worthy, not just writing a post for post's sake. Again, everything has to be thoughtful and strategic. Less is more. They should be share worthy. And what's great is you can repurpose it. Use that similar content, ask an AI like Perplexity, ChatGPT, Gemini to write it in 10 fresh ways. Make one into a short on your YouTube shorts. Make one into a post for Facebook. Make one in the style that's good for Instagram. Make a post that'll inform a blog topic. You can repurpose all of this all the time. And video, we already chatted with. You can repurpose for everything. So think about how to expand the efforts on social media and make quality versus quantity. And again, if you make one post, you can do them on all of these. You can place them everywhere. So really do so. Repurpose is the thing with social media. Local SEO. So I mentioned Google Business Profile. This was, you used to see the maps at the top. Your listing would be up here as a realtor. People can call you, go to your website, check out a few things on that listing. There's posts on there too. This is still very important. And now it's actually even more important because it's being used even more and shown more in answers. So this is something that by nature, because the work we do as realtors is so local, it's key. So what I put here is a couple things to keep in mind. Your Google business profile, it's free. If you don't have one yet, go make it. It's easy. Google business profile. Type it in, it's going to pop up, make an account. You want to make sure all your information is always accurate. You fill out every single field on the profile. That is big. Then a lot of people are using voice search when they're doing local thing. Realtor near me, where can I find, houses for sale near me, etc. Voice search, people talking to their phone into the AIs, you have all the voice search. This is big. So creating content that answers their questions is something you can do and put as posts everywhere, as blog topics everywhere, and in your Google business profile. They actually have a question answer section, always have in the listing. Put that in there, put posts about it in there. Next, as far as local SEO, citations. I've mentioned like brand mentions before and putting your content everywhere. As a realtor, you want to have really localized off-site places to put your website and information. Apple Maps, if you don't have it, this is foundational. Have it. You got it. Yelp is a good one. Bing Places, must have. These used to be kind of nice to haves. They're now foundation. It's almost like not mandatory, but you gotta. They're free. I promise. They're easy. You don't have to pay anything. It's just some time. And you're going to see a lot of reviews on there. Reviews are huge. Reviews were always important. Now more so because they're being shown as part of answers and things of that nature. So very key. And next, always analyze your results. Don't just do something and not measure. If I'm doing my Google business profile, how many leads do I get? How many calls do I get? How many people actually went to the website and performed a type of action I wanted them to do? There's ways to track all of this. It's part of my industry. And if you don't know how, ask someone in the industry. We can do those setups. But it's very important to analyze and see what's working, what's not, and where you need to tweak things. Because what we're doing is so local. Next, and one of the last components of the little breakdown I'm doing, citations and brand mentions. I mentioned brand mention. Back in the day, pre-2025, it was all about just woohoo, you've made it. Not anymore. It's still important. That's a great thing to do. But with AI, the GEO searches, that's where things are a little different. Now it's more about the brand. Are people recognizing and seeing the brand online? And when these GEO searches give an answer, they're not citing, here's, the keyword realtor. Now it's the actual name of the real estate agency or broker, etc. That is the key to so much in this particular slide. So I put here a few things. User-generated answer platforms like Wikipedia is when people like you and me, we can just go in and give our answer, our opinion, we comment. Reddit, another one, huge. These are game changers for building authority. GEO loves these. When they see how user sentiment is, what people think, how they're citing and mentioning other brands on there, that's a big flag to them of who is doing great on a specific topic or genre or type of service product. Those are big. So Wikipedia, Reddit, there's many more, but those are some big ones. PR, press releases, if you can afford it, if you have extra budget, always good. Make it about something tactful, strategic to your brand. It gets your brand name out there to across a lot of media outlets. They've always been important, but I just want to always have that reminder that they are great for building brand awareness. Brand mentions, like I've been mentioning over and over, this is the hot new metric. So there's not only engagement, but now there's the brand mentions that are included in reports and when we're analyzing things. So kind of to finish that out and round it out is, it used to be where clicks to your site and impressions on your site matter. Now it's the authority. How recognized is your brand, even if it's small and local? How much do people value what you're writing, what you're sharing? All of that is really important. Because why? Because when you're a brand authority or an authority in your real estate niche or your particular area, you get the business now with GEO on top of SEO. So this is very important. So I put a little chart here from Search Engine Land that kind of shows you how that changed. It's pretty nice. So that is pretty much everything. We're going to have some questions here momentarily, but this is how you can get in touch with me. I'm goodsattitudeusa@gmail.com. It's nice and simple. I'm in Florida and Eastern time, so definitely make sure to reach out and stay in touch after this webinar, and we can continue the conversation.